from Riverside. I met him at a truck stop. I thought he was a meth head. He came up to me. He goes, man, give me some money. And I go, man, get a job. He goes, no, I'm a comedian. I go, okay, tell me a joke. And he tells me a joke. It's pretty funny. And I go, well, I think it's more funny that you're a meth head and you got all your fucking teeth. But hey, this guy's really funny. He does these shows in Riverside called the Wacky Wednesdays. I've been working with him a lot. He's a very funny man. Mario Reyes.
All right.
Reyes.
Hey, I got a little drink holder. That's fucking cool right there. Oh, no, it's going down. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, who's drinking tonight? Let's hold those up. All right, I'd love to see the drinks. Jeffrey, speech impediment man, he said I'm from Riverside. A little correction, I'm actually from Corona. Anybody ever been out to Corona? All right, then you know the 91 and the 15 freeway is the real coronavirus. Yeah. Everywhere I go, I do comedy. I go all over the country doing comedy. I was in Oklahoma recently. I was in Vegas last week. Tonight I'm in a bar in Westminster.
All right.
Fuck yeah. But everywhere I go, I tell them I'm from Corona. And they step back and they're like, whoa, what do you mean Corona? And I'm like, whoa, chill. I said Corona the city, not fucking Wuhan. Okay? I never got the coronavirus, you guys. But I did get the COVID-19. And if you don't know the difference, let me explain. COVID-19, well, that's the 19 pounds that my fat ass got in quarantine. You can tell I got that bitch about 4 or 5 fucking times. Yeah. I was actually anorexic going into 2020. I had just lost 200 pounds. Really, I really did. It was called getting a divorce. My name is Mario Reyes, and if you've been watching the news, the man you've been seeing, Luigi Mangione, that is not my brother. Okay, he's the guy that went to New York and allegedly killed the CEO of United Healthcare. Okay, now the United Healthcare CEO, he would have been saved, but after the second gunshot, they considered that pre-existing condition. Yeah. So, yeah, and all my life people said, hey, Mario, where's Luigi? And I never had an answer. Well, the answer is, he's in federal prison for being a fucking hero. If you still don't know what I'm talking about, catch me after the show. I have it saved on my phone under favorites. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Luigi's going to get the death row. We're pretty damn sure the government's going to put Luigi to death for that one. I just hope that the government gives Luigi that same opportunity that they gave the man in South Carolina. There was a guy in South Carolina recently that was up for death row. And they said, your only crime for getting you on death row is killing your mother-in-law. And I've had a mother-in-law before, and I don't think it should be crime for killing the bitch. Yeah. And so, no, he was given a choice. He had a lethal injection, he had the electric chair, or a firing squad. And this boy chose the firing squad. And I'm like, all right, that's a quick and easy way. And I figured, all right, Westminster, if I had to choose, if I was on death row, because I wanted to kill my mother-in-law, if I was on death row, what would I choose? And I thought the idea of what they do in the Middle East where they stone you to death, I was like, that's a great idea, stone me to death. And then I found out it involved rocks and not marijuana. And I was like, fuck you! I'd rather have the weed. Where are my stoners at tonight? Do I have any stoners? I am in a bar, but where are my stoners? All right, I am a marijuana smoker. I am a stoner. I identify as a stoner. My pronouns are he/hi. Always. He/hi. Yeah, or she/hi too for you, ma'am. I love a stoner chick. But yes, anyway, I recently tried to quit smoking marijuana. I really did. But I realized it's easier for me to become a vegetarian than it will ever be for me to quit smoking weed. That's because none of my friends ever showed up at my house with bags of steaks. Like, hey, let's barbecue some steaks. No, it's always, let's barbecue some weed. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be easier for me to become a vegetarian. I said I did have a mother-in-law before. I am divorced. I am still single. And I love my single women. Do we have any single women out here tonight? All right, I love my singles. I do love the bigger women. I love my BBWs and my tortas. And I know there's a few out there because I can hear them breathing. Yeah. Guys, I've tried every dating app out there since I've been single, okay? I've tried everyone. I've tried Tinder. I've tried Bumble. I tried don't try Grindr. Grindr turned out to be a major pain in the ass. Yeah, I never found any real girls on Grindr, just a bunch of fat dudes with dicks, tits, and Tony Hinchcliffe. Yeah, it's true, sadly. But no, I'll tell you one thing. This is a classy crowd. Can I share a classy story with Westminster? All right. So I said I was on Tinder, and recently I met a woman on Tinder, and it wasn't supposed to be a one-night stand, but it became one. This is what happened, ladies and gentlemen. We've been talking for a while, and we agreed to meet, and I go to her house, and I knock on the door. She answers the door in red, sexy lingerie, and I'm like, woo! She's hot, smoking, right? We go to the bedroom, and I'm looking her body over, she's looking me over, and I'm not going to body shame nobody, Westminster. Should I body shame? No, look at me, seriously. Okay, but I got her bent over in a doggy-style position, and I look at her, and I notice on her ass, she has this little freckle on her ass. And I pay no attention, so I go starting to hit it for, doggy-style for a few minutes. All right, I'll be honest, a few seconds. But then I noticed that freckle is now just above my belly button. And I didn't know what to do. I smeared it like this. I was like, this girl fucking poo-pooed on me. Yeah, this is a shitty story, okay? And I didn't know what to do. But, ladies, when you doggy style and you have your hair and you want your man to pull your hair for excitement, well, that's what I did. I started pulling on her hair and she got excited. But I wasn't pulling her hair, I was just cleaning my hand off. And she said to me, she says, hey dude, you can put it in my ass. And I'm like, whoa, okay, listen. Being forced into anal sex is a lot like eating your vegetables. If you weren't forced to do it as a child, you'll never love it as an adult. Okay? So, yeah, so that's a classy story I wanted to share with you. And I shared that story because I wanted to share another story. My next story I wanted to share with you is because I've been divorced now for about 7 years, and I don't talk to my ex. We have very little communication because of a restraining order. But about a year and a half ago, I'm doing a podcast with two legends of comedy, Howie Mandel and Harlan Williams. And this podcast we do is called When a Stranger Calls. Okay? And the idea is, Howie Mandel, Harlan Williams, and myself, we call strangers, and just for the fuck of it. And I used to tell this story about my ex-wife, where the last present I ever gave her was a pair of hiking sticks. And when I handed them to her, she said, why are you giving me hiking sticks? I said, because I want you to take a hike, bitch. Well, Howie knows that story. Howie Mandel knows that joke. So he's saying, hey, listen, we're taping the When a Stranger Calls Valentine's Day episode. And you can look this up on YouTube. And he says, I want you to call your ex live on the air, and let's get her to confirm that story. And I said, listen, I'm from California. I know about the gold rush. If I see a gold rush, I'm going to fucking go digging for gold. Let's call the bitch. Right? So she answers, which is probably the first mistake. But she actually admits to the hiking stick story, which is cool. But then Howie Mandel's I got to take it one step further. He says, are there any embarrassing stories you want to tell about your ex? And she says, well, yeah, I do. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, I told you one embarrassing story. I don't get embarrassed. I get petty. And so she proceeds to tell the time where I asked her to peg me. Does anybody know what pegging is? Let me explain, sir. Pegging is where your wife gets it, or significant other, or woman, gets a strap on, and she fucks you with the strap on.
If you don't know, now you know.
If you didn't know, now you know. Okay? Well, like I said, that doesn't embarrass me. Yes, I asked my ex to fucking peg me one time every day for 15 years. And no, she never fucking did it. But that can't embarrass me. So I went out and I got hats made that say, make pegging great again. Yeah. I sell these on my website for $30. Okay? And I made them look like the MAGA hats because every MAGA man wants to secretly get pegged. So find me after the show. I got one for you, sir. I also sell a line of strap-ons. I got those from Temu because nothing fucks you like the product from Temu. Anybody going to any good summer blockbuster movies? You know, Michael Jackson movies in the movies. That hit $1 billion over the weekend. The Michael Jackson movie. And I gotta say, the guy that reenacted Michael Jackson, I think he did a great job. He was a great Michael Jackson impersonator. When I was little, I was in Catholic church, and my Catholic priest was actually a Michael Jackson impersonator. He didn't do any of the singing and dancing. He just did all the kid touching. Yeah, exactly. Anybody, you know, I will say Michael Jackson, he's been gone for a while now. Does anybody remember Farrah Fawcett? Bam, you know Farrah Fawcett. This man probably jerked off to the poster every day. Probably still does. But do you know the conspiracy theory going around that Farrah Fawcett killed Michael Jackson?
No.
Yes, look this up. It's a conspiracy theory. Hashtag Farrah killed Michael. And the conspiracy theory is this. That on the morning of Michael Jackson's death, Farrah Fawcett died first. And when Farrah Fawcett got to heaven, Jesus said to Farrah, "Farrah, you are such a great earthly soul. I'm going to grant you one wish." And Farrah said to Jesus, "Jesus, all I want is for the earth to be safe. No more child predators." And 2 hours later, Michael Jackson was dead, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's a conspiracy theory that I made up. And we're going to push that tonight. Hashtag Farrah killed Michael. You know, I believe this one, when Michael got to heaven, he also had a dying wish. And his dying wish was to be cremated, but he just wanted all the black ashes to be separated. He just wanted all the white ashes to be left. Yeah, that one's kind of racist. Can we do some racist dark humor tonight, Westminster? Yeah. All right, these are the kind of jokes that I know personally I should not tell, I should not laugh at, but I got a lot of dark humor and a dark fucking sense of humor. So if you laugh at this, you are my people. If you don't laugh at this, I drive not the black Sonata that pulled up, and I drive a different car. And my name is Jeffrey Pines. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start with dark humor. Does anybody know the difference between a gay suicide and a straight suicide? On the gay suicide, the teeth marks go further down on the barrel of a gun. All right, let's see. Charlie Kirk passed away last year. And do you think that his favorite song was Bon Jovi, Shot Through the Heart? Or was it Protect Your Neck by the Wu-Tang Clan? I think it was the other. Yeah, like a sniper in Utah, I'm going to take those shots at Charlie. How do you make a guy on the right lean left? You shoot him in the neck. Let's see another one. Yeah, I know, they're dark humor, guys. I told you. Okay? Erica Kirk, when she did the Charlie's funeral, she came out with like it was a WWF event, like sparks everywhere, like, yeah, I'm rich, my husband died, yeah. Like, no, that's horrible. It looked like a fucking wrestling event. I'm an old school wrestling fan. Do we have any wrestling fans?
Yeah.
Okay, I tried to watch John Cena's retirement match, but I couldn't see him. Yeah. Do you know that John Cena is the most requested wrestler for the Make-A-Wish Foundation? Yeah, but they say it takes 2 years for these sick and dying children to meet John Cena. And I figured at that rate, these kids are going to be meeting The Undertaker first. Yeah. Do you think he ever walks up to those kids in the Make-A-Wish and he's all, the blind kids, he's all, you can't see! Oh, fuck. Hulk Hogan also died, which, when he died, when the EMS got to Hulk Hogan, I'm curious, do you think they did that arm thing with Hulk Hogan? 1, 2, oh, wait, 3, no, his arm fell, he did. Damn, brother. I don't know how they cremated Hulk Hogan, because I would imagine that would look like an oil fire from Kuwait '94. Pretty damn sure of that one, guys. Let's see, one more dark humor. This one's going to be the one that gets me killed. We have any NASCAR fans? No NASCAR fans? Good, so I can do this one. Kyle Busch reportedly died recently while in a NASCAR racing simulator. And my first question was, do you think he was simulating Dale Earnhardt's crash? Oh, I know, that one comes at you at a car like at 180 at the wall, right? Just out of fucking nowhere. Dark humor, ladies and gentlemen. Shouldn't laugh at that. Okay, I think I've reached the end of my set. I asked you guys when I came out who was drinking.
Sorry, honey, I'm so sorry.
And when I came out here, I asked who was drinking. Let's hold them up one more time. All right, by the looks of it, we're going to have a lot of drunk drivers on the road tonight. Not only do I do stand-up comedy, I actually have my own video production company. And I make a lot of online content. Don't look at me, sir. It's not like that. Look at me like, ma'am, it is that way. But no, actually, I have my own OnlyFans page. I really do. You can look me up on OnlyFans. It's a reverse OnlyFans. It's where I start naked and you got to pay me to put my clothes back on. Yeah. But no, I do have a video production company. I work with a lot of bands, athletes, musicians, comedians. I worked with Jacob Knoll from Sublime recently. I worked with Brian Head Welch from Korn. I do his sober recovery videos. One other thing, I worked with a band for 30 years now. I worked with a band called the Cottonmouth Kings. Has anybody heard of the Cottonmouth Kings? All right, yeah, I actually have it embedded right here, tattooed on my arm. I also work with a band from Cottonmouth. We have a side group called DGAF, D-G-A-F. Does anybody know what DGAF means? It is not don't give a fuck. Please watch your fucking mouth. There's women in the bar. And we are a Christian soccer organization. It stands for doing God a favor. Okay? And if you don't buy that, I don't give a fuck. Because it really does mean I don't give a fuck. But sometimes we do have to give a fuck, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why DGAF, I asked you if you're drinking to hold them up. And that means DGAF stands for don't get another felony. I'm looking at you, sir. I know you've got a few. And most importantly, it means don't go away forever. Alright? Oh, I know. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. You can find me on Instagram, comedian_Mario Reyes 82. Find me on YouTube. You can find me on OnlyFans. Find me anywhere else. But find me here in the bar if you're single. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I'd like to bring up our next comic. Our next comic coming to the stage. He's the one that brought me up. And he said some bad things. He said I was from Riverside, which I'm not a fucking meth head. I proved that to you guys. I'm a stoner. I'm a degenerate, if you don't know that yet. Our next comedian coming up to stage. Who's listened to Howard Stern in the past? The Howard Stern Show? All right. I've been a fan of Howard Stern since about, 95, whenever he got brought to L.A. But this man, you would originally have heard him on the Howard Stern Show. He was known as the Speech Impediment Man. Recently, you can see him on an episode of Cops. I actually saw Jeffrey last week on the evening news. You just didn't recognize it because it was black and white and the girl was crying and the cops were there and it looked like security footage. But I know it was Jeff under that mask. I know. Jeff, the cops are looking for you. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, please, Westminster, welcome to the stage, Jeffrey Pines!
What happened? Mario, how you doing? I want some fucked up people out there.
Let's go!
Let's go, yeah! There you go. Mario, you didn't compliment on John's job. You said this looked like a strip club.
No, that's not what I said. You said when you came in, you saw your favorite porn star at the bar, and I said, what's the problem with that? And you said she shouldn't be in here.
Brandy Love. Brandy Love.
Well, you said she shouldn't be in here because she was only 13.
Oh, man.